review this then. It's the Indesit innexx BWD71453W. Now, being a BWD means it's got a display, a digital display, and indeed it has. Also, this is the second generation of the innexx. The first generation came out quite a while ago with the XW8 series, but they've been dropped and obviously replaced with these. And the innexx still carries over its push and wash series program button here, but it also is the same series to carry 5 everyday 30 degree eco cycles as well. So there is that. So the Indesit innexx that is therefore, to be fair, actually gives you 6 everyday 30 degree eco cycles, since the push and wash also washes at 30 degrees. But more of that in a minute. Right, so this is the bottom of the line. The innexx range does come with 6 kilo variants, 7 kilo variants, which is this, which both have brush motors. You've got 12 and 1400 spin variants, as well as ones with the display like this, and ones without the display, which are of course cheaper. There's then the 8 and 9 kilo variants, which have an inverter motor and a much bigger drum. And of course, they all come with 1400 RPM. But the principle of the innexx is still the same. So it's got a completely different door to the rest of the Indesits, the push and wash button, and of course the 5 everyday 30 degree eco cycles. Right, so the machine comes with what looks to be 16 programs. However, there is the push and wash program, which takes up to 17, and there's a hidden silks program as well, more of that in a minute, which takes up to 18, and 3 stain removal programs, 21. There's also a tub clean program, if you want to count that as well, 22. So there's 22 programs on this machine, and that's a lot for any machine really. But for this is a cheap machine, so you're getting a lot for your money here. So the machine splits the cycles into 3 categories: everyday 30 degree eco, your traditionals, and specials. Right, so let's have a look at the programs then. I'm going to start off with the most important one, and that's not on the program dial. It's this, the push and wash. Now, of course, you may be watching this video trying to find out how this works, so here we are. So what you do is load up no more than half a load, that's 3.5 kilo, of cotton and synthetics into the machine with your detergent, and then with the door shut, you can push and hold for 2 seconds while the machine is switched off, and the machine will switch on and automatically start a 45-minute wash cycle that will complete, which will carry out a 30 degree wash with 2 rinses and a final spin of 1000 RPM for your lightly soiled everyday laundry made of cotton and synthetics, mixed colours. You can now also still select it by switching on the machine and then hitting the push and wash button for 2 seconds if you wish. Right, I'm going to also start off with the program dial, not at program 1, but at program 10, which is your normal cotton program. It's labelled as white cotton, but it's your normal cotton program. So in other words, whatever temperature you select with this, it's going to wash at it. But I'm also going to select this for a reason, and that is to show you the variable temperature and spin dial, since of course this program has all the programs and options. Right, so we've got our temperatures are cold, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 90 degrees options. We've also got a variable spin. We've got no spin, 400, 500, 600, 800, 1000, 1200 and 1400. And then when we come over here, we've got extra rinse button. So if you're able to select this, it will up the rinse count, usually from 2, maybe 3, to then obviously 3 or 4 instead. it will add on 1 rinse. We've also got the easy iron button, which will limit the spin to 600 RPM and will completely change the course of action of the wash and rinses, for example, as well as the intermediate spins between the rinses. We've got a key lock button down here, which you push and hold for 2 seconds, and that will lock out all the buttons, except for the on-off, but it will genuinely lock out the buttons, which is nice. We've got a tub clean program. Push the easy iron and the innexx rinse buttons together until auto clean goes all the way across. That will automatically start a 1 hour 10 70-degree drum clean cycle. Also, don't forget to add any additives if you need to the dispenser for that program. And then we've got an automatic stain removal option, which actually then gives you 3 different programs. We got food. Now, I'm gonna start off by saying this. The food program is obviously made for removing food. This stain removal option can only be selected via the white cotton 90 program. It can't be selected anywhere else. However, this program, these next 3 programs are limited to 60 degrees. In fact, they're limited to 60, but also are limited to 30. They don't tell you that in the instruction book, but the giveaway here is these little lights here. Notice how they're flashing now? If it's flashing, it means that the option you've selected on the dial is not selectable. What it does mean, though, is if you do still select the wash, and we can, like so, the light's gone out, but it will still wash to 30, for example. And likewise, if we go beyond what the program is allowed, so let's select 90, and it's flashing, the light will still also go out, but now it will carry out the cycle to 60. Likewise, we've also got, if we press the easy iron button and we select a spin higher than is available for a program, it's going to flash. However, again, if you start the program and you have set it too high, it's going to actually spin it at maximum spin speed that it's limited to. So, easy iron, for example, limited to 600. If we select 1400, it's still going to spin at only 600. I do like this because, of course, we've always had throughout the years had independent dials. In fact, like exactly like this. For example, on this Indesit My Time, and this is newer than that, but it doesn't tell you when you're going over a maximum temperature or maximum spin speed. So you may be selecting a temperature higher than is available without knowing. This is one thing I really like about the innexx, is the fact it tells you this. First option is food. The second option is known as work, which is for moving oil and grease, for example. I'm also going to say it's 60. Interestingly, with this one, if you select 40, it's going to go warp. Then we got grass stains, outdoor, for moving grass and mud and all that. Again, 40 is now the equivalent of 60, which is pretty good. Yep. Right. It's made for washing a max load of 7 kilo on the white cotton program, and of course you can go away to 90 degrees when you're not selecting one of the food options. Right, let's start off with program 1, and instantly both the temperature and spin are both flashing. So, program 1 is daily cotton at 30 degrees. It's an hour 40 at 30 degrees. Also, we can go down if we want to cold. Max spin speed is 1200 RPM. And you can have extra rinse option and you can have easy iron option. Made for washing 3.5 kilo load or half load. Then we've got daily synthetics. Again, made for washing a 3.5 kilo load, half load. Max temperature of 30. We have 20 and cold if you want. Max spin speed is 1000. Extra rinse and easy iron options are available. Then we got program 3, which is colours, which is there to preserve colours in your cotton and synthetic laundry. Max load of 3.5 kilo, half a load. 30, 20 cold. And max spin is 1000 RPM. And you can have extra rinse and easy iron options. Then we've got program 4, which is your delicates program at 30 degrees under the everyday 30 degree eco. Now, there's nothing special about this program, unlike the first 3 that I've talked about. This is just because it falls under 30 degrees, so they slapped it under here. Max load is 1 kilo. Washes with a very high water level and ends with no spin. There you go. You can have extra rinse. You can't have extra rinse, but you can have easy iron. Now, I said this in the beginning about the programs, and it drops the cycle time from 1 hour 20 to 55 minutes. What this allows you to do is wash silk and curtains instead. Max load, again, 1 kilo, but washes with a lower water level at 30 degrees, and again, still ends with no spin. Program 5 is rapid 30 minutes, 30 degrees, and is made for washing half a load, 3.5 kilo, of cotton synthetics that is lightly soiled. Max spin is 800 RPM. Obviously, there's 30 degree and cold. No extra rinse and no easy iron options. Program 6 is cotton, which is available up to 60. Yeah, it's gonna get a bit complicated. And the max spin of 1400 RPM. Made for washing 7 kilo max load of cottons that are heavily soiled. You can also have no options for some reason. Yeah, and I'm gonna just move on from here. Program 7 is synthetics up to 60 degrees. Obviously you can have 50, 40, 30, 20 and cold. Max spin, flash in there, is 1000 RPM. No extra rinse and no easy iron option, which is a bit surprising really, because you can have easy iron with 30 degree daily synthetics program. Made for washing, max load of 3.5 kilo or half a load of man-made fibres. Then we've got program 8, which is mixed. Max load of a full load of cottons. Made for washing mixed colours of darks and lights together. It's quite a shorter cycle, so it's made for washing normal soiled laundry. Every day kind of normal soiled laundry. No extra rinse, no easy iron. Max spin of 1400. Max temperature is limited to 40, which you can then also lower if you wish. And it's a generally all good round cycle, so yeah, and it's been around for years, this cycle. Program 9 is Eco Cotton 60, which is 4 hours 35 minutes. Yeah, this is quite complicated to explain. Basically, and then you can have 30, 20 and cold, but not 90 and 70. So Cotton Standard 60 and 40 are your standard eco programs in to give you the A+++ energy rating of your machine. But when it comes to the Test Institute, for some bizarre reason, it states in the manual to use program 6. And look how long it is. At 40. Coincidence? No, not really. No coincidence there. It's Cotton Standard twice, basically, put into the machine. If anything, maybe the Standard 60 is more economical than the normal 60, but it won't be by much. Essentially, they're both going to... Essentially, it's going to perform a very, very long cycle economically for heavily soiled laundry. Max load LC for 7 kilo, but at the most economical rate. It doesn't matter which one you use, whether you use Eco Cotton Program 9 or Cotton 6. They're basically made for heavily soiled either way, but you're going to get poorer rinse performance due to the fact that it rinses at a lower level. No extra rinse, no easy iron. Then, like we said, start off with White Cotton 90, which is available at 90, made for washing, full load, 7 kilo. You won't get A++ energy rating, you'll get an A energy rating instead. But at least you can have easy iron, and at least you can have extra rinse if you wish. And it doesn't take, like, an absolute eternity to wash. Then we've got Sport. Bit of an odd one because, of course, Sport, it's definitely varying a bit on every machine. This one's only 55 minutes long, for example. But anyway, it's made for washing a half load of synthetics at 30 degrees and a max spin of 600 RPM. No extra rinse and no easy iron available here. But it's a lot shorter than normal synthetics, that's for sure. Program 12 is Duvet, which is made for washing a single item that's down-filled, polyester-filled or whatever, like a single duvet or a cushion or a outdoor jacket or something like that. Essentially, it uses more water within the wash and rinses, and has an adjusted final spin as well. So much so, the max spin is 1000 RPM. Max temperature is only 30. It's always been a gripe of mine, because if you actually want to wash a duvet, in my head it's always been 60 degrees, and it just doesn't allow you. It doesn't matter what generation you get, other than Indesit, it's always been 30 degrees. You can have extra rinse. That's quite a nice touch. You've got easy iron as well. Unlike the other cycles, it doesn't limit the spin. It still spins at 1000 RPM. And unlike, say, unlike the Delicates program, it doesn't completely change the wash to a completely different new cycle. So the only thing I think it does is either it'll give you an indefinite anti-crease in the end. Bear in mind, I haven't tried this out yet. It's either going to give you an indefinite anti-crease, or it's going to give you a rinse hold function. And that's it. It's interesting though that easy iron affects every cycle differently. Then we've got the wool program, which allows you to wash 1.5 kilo of wool. That is marked hand wash safe. It's got the hand wash safe mark, but this is knitted wool, brand new wool. And it washes with a distribution action which Indesit have carried over for 20 years now. This is pretty good. Max spin is 800 RPM and max temperature is 40. You can have an extra rinse, but no easy iron. Then program 14 is anti-odor. It's a synthetic based program that washes at 40. Of course, you can have less than that if you want. And a max spin of 1000 RPM. And it washes 3 kilograms of clothes that have odours, such as smoke, example. And it apparently is created to protect the clothes. But personally, I can't really see any difference. We got extra rinse, but no easy iron function. Then we got rinses and spin. 2 rinses followed by a cotton's length spin. Also, max temperature is 0. No extra rinse. Oh, sorry, no easy iron. No easy iron? That's interesting. This is a cotton cycle. A normal white cotton cycle. No easy iron, but you can have extra rinse, so you can up it to 3 if you wish. Of course, you can turn the spin dial down for rinsing delicates. Then we've got spin and drain. So if we set the spin to 0, it will do a drain only cycle, and that's why it goes down to 3 minutes. But if you set it to up to 1400, it will spin for 10 minutes and allow you to respin anything up to 7 kilo at full load to remove extra water. This is quite good if you are washing combined synthetics and cottons together and you just want to re-spin the cottons, because of course cottons can be spun at 1400 RPM. No options. I don't really expect it anyway. Right, final option here is time delay. Interestingly, it goes up in 30-minute steps up to 10 hours and an hour steps to 24. And that's delay start. So if you set it to half an hour, it's going to wait half an hour before it starts the cycle, regardless how long the cycle is. Right, I've got a kick strip here. This can be removed, and behind that is the filter. Alright, so we've got our detergent drawer here. Now, it's split into 3 compartments. This one is for your main wash detergent. This is for the pre-wash, except there's no program with a pre-wash. In fact, even Sports doesn't have a pre-wash. And this is obviously for your optional fabric softener if you wish. You've got our little siphon here, so make sure you don't lose that. This drawer is supposed to stop on its own, but this clip has actually stopped working for some reason. But anyway, it's supposed to stop there, and then you're supposed to push that down to remove the drawer, if it were working, of course. And then here is your little liquid dispenser guide. It's got it written on the guide up to 150 milliliters. Also, we've got the guide up the side here. So there we go. This is our liquid dispenser converter, and we've got 50 ml, 100 ml, and 150 ml marked out on the guide. And then inside the drawer here, we've also got 50 ml, 100 ml, 150 ml, and 200 ml marked out on the drawer, and that is for your powder. So happily, this will take around 300 ml if it's rammed right up to the top. While the pre-wash will probably take around 150 ml. No guide on how much the fabric softener will take, but it's more likely to take around 100 ml. Of course, don't go beyond maximum, as it will automatically siphon prematurely into the wash if you do. So, when the machine starts, there's a little bit of delay, but there is then a lock of the door and the red light will come up. The machine will also fill up with water through the pre-wash first before starting. And then it starts filling up for the main wash after like a minute wait. Come on, Indesit, you need to get this changed. It's been years. Right, we've also got something called Water Balance Plus, I forgot to mention it. And what it basically does, it will weigh the load with the water inside. However, don't expect this timer to change. The only time it will change is pretty much at the end of the cycle. Also, it only works on the cottons and the full-length synthetic cycle. All the other cycles just run whatever it says on the timer. Also quite interesting. Look how much hair has come out of it. So, what to give this out of 10 then? Well, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Which is quite surprising because it's an Indesit. But it does offer you a lot for your money. More so if you like washing at 30 degrees. Definitely a lot there for your money. Including like obviously the drum clean and the stain removal. I like that. That's what draws me to the Indesit. Even though I'm not really a 30 degree man. Reliability wise, it should be great since it's a 7 kilo with the brushed motor. So it should be relatively alright for a while for now. And that's about it really. This is a few years old now and there's no knocking or rattling, which is alright. The motor's noisy, but they always have been, so it hasn't really changed. But not excessively noisy, I will point out. So there is that. Cool, right, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you in another one. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to give us a like, and don't forget to comment down below what you like or what you don't like about this machine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.